Have you ever seen someone so calm, so clear, that it's almost terrifying? I'm talking about the fed-up Sigma female, not angry, not emotional, but holding this quiet, powerful clarity that completely shifts her world. Today we're breaking down why her silence isn't weakness. It's a dangerous prelude to the kind of action that leaves no room for doubt. You ready to find out why? Let's go. If you've ever been around a Sigma female, you know there's something different about her. She's got this vibe, calm, collected, but there's a fire under the surface. You might think it's just chill confidence, but let's be real. When she gets fed up, it's not just a little irritation, it's a shift. A change that means things are about to get real. We're talking about why a fed-up Sigma female becomes the most dangerous kind, and it's way deeper than a simple attitude adjustment. Now, if you've ever been in a situation where you pushed a Sigma female too far, you probably didn't even notice it happening. 1 second, everything's fine, and the next, you realize you've crossed a line. And that's the thing, right? People underestimate her because she doesn't wear her emotions on her sleeve. She doesn't yell, she doesn't need to make a scene, but when she's had enough, it's a whole different level. But here's where it gets tricky. You've probably felt this before. When you keep pushing someone who doesn't show anger, you've got no idea what you're triggering until it's too late. And when she's fed up, that's when the true danger surfaces. So here's the thing. The reason why a fed-up Sigma female is so dangerous, it's because she's got this quiet power. The kind of power that doesn't scream for attention, but when she chooses to use it, it's unstoppable. Her silence isn't weakness, it's strategy, it's control. Let me show you exactly why that makes her a force to be reckoned with. Explore the 8 reasons why a fed-up Sigma female becomes the most dangerous kind. 1. She's quiet, but she's not blind. When a Sigma female is fed up, she doesn't make a scene. Instead, she observes every look, every word, every action. She's not one to make her feelings known the second something bothers her. She knows the power of patience. She understands that reacting too soon can show weakness, and she's not about that life. While everyone else is caught up in drama or making noise, she's quietly studying everything around her. She catches the subtle things most people miss. The shift in someone's tone, the change in body language, the small words said out of place. Most people think they can get away with these things because they're hidden in plain sight. But a fed-up Sigma female, she sees it all. Her mind is always working, processing information, piecing everything together like a puzzle. She might seem calm, maybe even detached, but that's her way of gathering all the data she needs. She isn't blind to what's going on. She knows exactly what's happening. It's like she's running a constant mental checklist, tracking what's been said, what's been done, and what's been left unsaid. And that's what makes her dangerous. While others are quick to react emotionally, she waits. She stays quiet, allowing things to unfold, all the while knowing she's already 5 steps ahead. She doesn't waste energy on outbursts or pointless conversations. Instead, she quietly watches and waits for the right moment. She knows that in the world she operates in, it's not the loudest voice that gets the job done. It's the quiet, calculated ones who get what they want. When she's fed up, it's not the loud, dramatic exits you expect from someone at the end of their rope. It's subtle and it's strategic. She doesn't make a scene because she doesn't need to. Her actions speak louder than any outburst ever could. So when it's time to act, you best believe she's already prepared. She's planned her next move carefully, thought through all the possible outcomes, and considered the consequences. No emotional outburst, no rash decision. She's in control. And that control comes from her ability to stay calm while the world around her burns. It's not just about being patient, it's about being smart. She doesn't get angry, she gets even, but only when she's ready, when it serves her purpose. She makes decisions with precision, with no hesitation, because she's already thought everything through. You won't see her flinch when others would panic. She doesn't need to scramble or make hasty moves. By the time others are figuring out what happened, she's already handled it. Her silence is her superpower. While others are caught up in their own emotions, she stands back, watches, and waits. She's not blind to what's going on. She's simply letting things play out the way they need to. And when the time is right, she strikes. By then, everyone will be too late to stop her. What looks like a quiet, unbothered exterior is actually a mind that never stops working, always analyzing, always one step ahead of the game. When a Sigma female is fed up, trust me, the silence is anything but peaceful. It's the calm before the storm. Stop right here. If this resonates with you, drop a like and hit subscribe. You don't want to miss the next powerful insight coming up. 2. She's built a life without drama. You know how some people thrive on chaos? Not her. She's built a life where peace isn't just something she hopes for, it's something she actively creates. Her world is not filled with constant noise, distractions, or drama. It's calm, it's controlled, and it's hers. She's made a conscious decision to avoid the petty arguments, the pointless conflicts, and the people who love to stir things up. Why? Because she understands that the more drama you let into your life, the less room you have for growth, for happiness, and for peace. And for her, peace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. When you've lived long enough, you realize that drama only drains your energy. It takes away from what really matters. The Sigma female knows that. She doesn't need constant validation from others or the spotlight. She doesn't crave attention, nor does she feed into the chaotic situations that others seem to attract. She's chosen to stay in her lane, create her own vibe, and keep her circle tight. She's all about efficiency, and drama doesn't fit into that equation. But here's the thing, drama has a way of finding people who have it together, especially when they stop engaging with it. People who are calm, collected, and know what they're doing can often be targets for those who thrive on chaos. And that's exactly what happens when a Sigma female is pushed too far. She's built this calm, peaceful life, and when someone comes in to disturb that peace, it doesn't just annoy her, it forces her to act, because she knows that letting drama seep into her world is a dangerous thing. It's like inviting negativity to live rent-free in your mind, and she's not about that life. She's learned that no amount of stress or turmoil is worth her time or energy. And so, when things start to go sideways, when someone pushes too far, she doesn't hesitate to cut the cord. That's when the real danger comes into play. She's been quiet, she's been calm, and she's been ignoring all the small annoyances around her. But once she's had enough, that's when she makes her move. It's not an emotional decision, it's a rational one. She's not angry or frustrated. She's just taking back control. She understands that some people just don't respect boundaries until they're forced to. And when they push her, when they try to invade her peaceful life, she does what's necessary to reclaim it. This is why a fed-up Sigma female is so dangerous, because she doesn't react out of emotion. She reacts out of a need to protect her peace, and that is a force no one can stop. She's already done the hard work of building a life that's free from drama, so when it's threatened, she won't let anything or anyone take it away from her. Her response is swift, measured, and final. She doesn't get caught up in endless cycles of back-and-forth drama. She cuts people off, steps away, and reclaims her peace with a quiet strength that leaves no room for argument. The moment she decides enough is enough, she doesn't need to explain herself or justify her actions. The peace she's worked so hard to create is the only thing that matters, and she's going to protect it at all costs. 3. She knows when to cut you off without saying a word. A fed-up Sigma female doesn't need a dramatic confrontation to make her point. When she's done, you won't hear any long speeches or accusations. She doesn't need to say anything at all to let you know that she's had enough. The beauty of her power is in her silence. When she cuts ties, it's like she's made her decision without a single word. It's clean, it's final, and it's done. There's no begging for attention or trying to convince you she's right. When she's fed up, she knows exactly when to let go, and she does it effortlessly. You might think everything is fine, but suddenly she's just gone. And that's the most dangerous thing about her. There's no closure, no emotional goodbye. She doesn't leave room for questions or misunderstandings. She leaves with a finality that makes it clear. If she's done, then she's done, and there's no coming back from that. She doesn't play games. She doesn't drag things out, hoping for some sort of closure or resolution. She doesn't need it. The Sigma female understands that some things are better left behind, and when she's had enough, she's not about to waste any more energy on a situation that no longer serves her. It's as if she's already made peace with the decision before it even happens. For her, cutting someone off is not an emotional decision. It's a practical one. She's all about protecting her energy, her time, and her well-being. When someone is no longer contributing positively to her life, they simply don't have a place in it anymore. And she won't feel guilty about it. It's not personal. It's just the reality of how she values herself. The silence is not an invitation for you to figure out why. It's not a hint or a plea for you to beg her to come back. It's the answer. She's walked away, and that's it. And here's the thing, it's not a one-time thing. She doesn't let people back in after they've disrespected her. Once she's cut you off, it's not going to be easy to regain her trust, if at all. She doesn't forget how someone made her feel, and she doesn't believe in second chances for people who failed her the first time. What's most unsettling about this is that you might not even know when it happened. One day, you're texting, calling, or hanging out, and the next, she's simply not responding. It's like she's erased herself from your life without ever telling you she was leaving. This isn't about a lack of communication. It's about her choosing to move forward without you in the picture. She doesn't need closure because she's already found it within herself. And when she's made up her mind, that's the final decision. No explanations, no justification, just pure action. It's a type of quiet power that leaves others scrambling for answers when they realize they've been cut off. It's one of the sharpest tools in her arsenal, a simple but absolute way of reclaiming control. When a Sigma female is fed up, she doesn't fight, she doesn't argue, she just removes herself, and in doing so sends the message loud and clear. I'm done. If you're with me so far, leave a comment below with your experiences. I love hearing your thoughts. 4. She's more dangerous when she's not showing emotion. It's easy to think that someone who's calm, quiet, and collected is weak or uninvolved. But when a Sigma female is fed up, that calm exterior is the most dangerous thing about her. When most people get angry, they lash out. They shout, they argue, they show their cards, and the world sees their emotions. But the Sigma female, she doesn't show you anything. She's not one to raise her voice, not one to lose her cool. When she's fed up, she remains eerily calm, and that's what makes her dangerous. This isn't about being emotionless, it's about control. She knows that showing anger or frustration gives others the opportunity to control the narrative, to manipulate the situation in their favor. She doesn't want that, so instead she channels all her energy into precise, deliberate action. Her lack of outward emotion isn't a sign of weakness, it's a calculated decision to keep the upper hand. You see, emotions can cloud judgment. When people act out of anger or frustration, they often make mistakes. They say things they don't mean. They act rashly. But a fed-up Sigma female doesn't make rash decisions. Her calmness is a reflection of her ability to think clearly under pressure. She's not the kind of person who will explode and give you something to hold against her. Instead, she's plotting her next move quietly, methodically, and that's when she becomes the most dangerous, because you won't know what hit you until it's too late. A fed-up Sigma female doesn't need to prove a point by yelling or making a scene. She lets her actions speak for her, and when those actions come, they're swift, powerful, and final. You may have thought you were dealing with someone who couldn't hurt you, someone who wouldn't do anything drastic. But when she's done, and the way she moves makes it clear that nothing and no one will stand in her way. The silence, the stillness, is a warning. When you push her too far, when you cross a line she's drawn in her mind, she doesn't need to yell to make you understand that she's had enough. She's already made her decision, and she's moving forward with it. By the time you catch up, it's already over. This is the power of emotional control. It's a power that no one can fight, because no one sees it coming. She's not consumed by her emotions. She doesn't let her feelings dictate her actions. She's not controlled by the chaos around her. Instead, she observes, processes, and then makes her move. In the end, That's why she's so dangerous when she's fed up. Her lack of visible emotion doesn't mean she's not feeling anything. It means she's in complete control of her feelings, and that makes her a force to be reckoned with. She's not reacting in anger or frustration. She's acting with purpose, and that purpose is always rooted in self-preservation. Quick pause. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because we're diving into more tips in the next point that you don't want to miss. 5. She'll do the things you never thought she could. When a Sigma female is fed up, it's not just about her walking away or cutting people off. No, it goes deeper than that. It's about a shift in how she sees herself and what she's capable of. She's not the kind of person who needs to prove anything to anyone. She doesn't live for applause or recognition. But when she's pushed to the point of no return, she's capable of doing things that might surprise even those who've known her the longest. You might think you know her limits, but trust me, you don't. See, the thing about a fed-up Sigma female is that she doesn't react in the same way others do. Most people will snap, they'll throw a tantrum, or they'll let their emotions get the best of them. But not her. She doesn't waste energy on that. Instead, she channels her frustration into something productive, something powerful. Maybe it's cutting out a toxic friend without a second thought. Maybe it's leaving a job that's been draining her soul for years, or maybe it's finally speaking her truth after staying silent for too long. But whatever it is, when she's fed up, she'll do it. And you won't even see it coming. It's not about rage or anger. It's about realizing that she's done giving energy to things and people that don't serve her. And that's when she makes the most impactful moves. She won't need a dramatic moment to justify her actions. It'll be calculated. It'll be quiet. It'll be firm. But it will be something she knows is necessary for her well-being, even if it feels extreme to everyone else. And here's the thing. Once she makes that move, there's no going back. The reason she's so dangerous when fed up is because of how decisively she acts. She doesn't waver. She doesn't look back. She doesn't hesitate. She'll do things you never thought possible, things that would seem out of character, things that might make you question what you really knew about her. And that's why you should never take her for granted. She's built her life with the understanding that she deserves peace, respect, and balance. So when someone or something takes that away from her, she'll find a way to bring it back, and she'll do it on her terms. It could be something as simple as cutting off people who drain her energy, or as serious as walking away from a long-term situation that no longer serves her. Either way, when she's fed up, her actions will make you realize that you never truly understood her, the person you thought you knew. She's capable of so much more than you ever imagined, and that's what makes a fed-up Sigma female so dangerous. She'll do what's necessary to take control, no matter how extreme it seems. 6. She's mastered the art of disappearing. A fed-up Sigma female doesn't need to make a scene to let you know she's done. She's mastered the art of disappearing without a trace, and it's honestly a skill that's unsettling to witness. 1 minute she's there, communicating, interacting, maybe even hanging out, and the next she's simply gone. It's not that she's being dramatic or making a statement. It's just that when she's reached the point where she's fed up, she knows there's no value in continuing to engage. So she pulls back, steps away, and vanishes with the kind of silence that's almost eerie. You won't get a long goodbye. You won't get an explanation. She doesn't owe you any of that. Instead, she's quietly withdrawn, leaving no room for questions, no room for explanations, and no space for you to attempt any last-minute attempts to fix things. And that's what makes her disappearing act so dangerous. It's not just the physical absence, it's the psychological one. When a Sigma female pulls away, it's not like she's left in the way that most people leave, with emotional baggage and unresolved tension. No, when she disappears, it's clean. She doesn't leave drama in her wake. She doesn't leave behind a trail of unfinished business. Everything is closed. Everything is over. And by the time you realize she's gone, she's already moved on to something better. This ability to disappear isn't something she learned overnight. It's a skill she's honed over time, understanding that she doesn't need to explain herself to anyone. It's not that she's avoiding confrontation. It's that she's been smart enough to know when a situation or person no longer serves her. Why waste time trying to fix something that's beyond repair? Why fight a battle that isn't even hers to fight? The art of disappearing is not about fear. It's not about running away. It's about choosing to step back from what's toxic and moving forward without any hesitation. She does it because she values her peace, and she knows the quickest way to reclaim it is to simply remove herself from what's causing the disruption. People think that when someone disappears, it's a sign of weakness or cowardice. But for a Sigma female, it's the exact opposite. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign that she has the confidence and the self-awareness to know when something isn't worth her time, energy, or emotions anymore. When she disappears, she's not coming back to fix anything. She's already fixed herself. She doesn't need closure from you. She doesn't need you to understand why she walked away. She's already made peace with her decision. And when she's gone, she's gone. The beauty of her disappearance is that it's not dramatic. It's not about getting attention or making a scene. It's about taking control of her own life and stepping away from the chaos, the drama, and the people who no longer have a place in it. So, when a fed-up Sigma female disappears, don't expect her to return. She's already moved on to something better, and you're not part of it anymore. 7. She knows that walking away is the ultimate power move. When a Sigma female is fed up, she doesn't scream, shout, or argue. She doesn't need to make her feelings known through confrontation or emotional outbursts. Instead, she does the one thing that most people find hard to do. She simply walks away. Walking away is her ultimate power move. It's not a sign of defeat or weakness. In fact, it's the complete opposite. It's a clear message that she's done. She knows that no situation, no person, and no amount of drama is worth her time and energy if it's draining her peace. The moment she decides to walk away, it's final. There's no pleading, no second chances, no coming back. And that's the beauty of it. It's a decision made with full awareness and confidence. Most people are afraid of walking away because they fear the unknown. They worry about what others will think, whether it will make them look weak, or if they'll regret it later. But a Sigma female isn't afraid of any of that. She knows that walking away is a form of self-preservation. She understands that sometimes the best thing for her growth and well-being is to step away from things that no longer serve her. She walks away not because she's afraid to fight, but because she understands that some battles aren't worth fighting. And here's the kicker. When she walks away, she doesn't look back. She doesn't need closure from the situation, and she certainly doesn't need validation from anyone else. The act of walking away is closure in itself. For her, it's about reclaiming her peace, her time, and her energy. She's learned that life is too short to waste on things and people that don't contribute to her happiness or growth. Walking away is her way of protecting herself, and it's the most empowering thing she can do. When most people stay in toxic situations, hoping things will get better, a fed-up Sigma female knows better. She's been there before, and she's seen how those situations only continue to drain her until there's nothing left. So when she's done, she walks away without a second thought. This doesn't mean she's afraid of confrontation. It means she knows the power of letting go. She understands that by walking away, she's sending a message to the universe and everyone around her that she will no longer tolerate anything that takes away from her happiness. She knows that this is the only way to preserve her mental and emotional health. And walking away doesn't mean she's giving up. It means she's giving herself the chance to move on, to grow, and to find peace. So, if you ever find yourself on the receiving end of a fed-up Sigma female walking away, don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's about her choosing herself over everything else. And that is the ultimate power move. 8. She's strategic, not reckless. When a Sigma female is fed up, it's easy to assume she'll just act out of emotion. After all, most people would. The angry outbursts, the rushing to fix things, the dramatic decisions, those are the typical responses when someone's pushed too far. But not her. A fed-up Sigma female is not reckless. She's calculated, strategic, and deliberate with every move she makes. She understands the consequences of her actions and knows that impulsive decisions rarely lead to anything good. So when she's had enough, she doesn't act hastily. She takes her time. She steps back, analyzes the situation, and then carefully figures out the best course of action. It's like a chess game to her. Every move is calculated, and she's always thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. Most people react emotionally, driven by frustration or anger. They get caught up in the heat of the moment, blurting things out or making snap decisions they'll regret later. But the Sigma female? She's not about that life. She knows that acting impulsively can make things worse. She knows that in order to get what she wants, she needs to stay calm, collected, and focused. So when she's fed up, she doesn't immediately start a confrontation or start plotting her revenge. Instead, she takes a step back and thinks it through. She's patient. She gives herself time to cool off, assess the situation, and understand exactly what she needs to do next. And when she finally makes her move, it's not done in haste. It's done with precision, and it's almost always the right decision. That's what makes a fed-up Sigma female so dangerous. She doesn't react out of anger or frustration. She reacts out of logic and clarity. She doesn't let her emotions cloud her judgment. Instead, she uses her emotions as fuel for a well-thought-out plan. When the time comes to take action, she does it with purpose. There's no yelling, no rash decisions, no wasting energy on things that won't move her forward. She's already figured out how to solve the problem, how to protect herself, and how to move on. The key to her strategic approach is that she doesn't get lost in the drama. While others are caught up in the chaos, she remains above it. She focuses on what's important, on what she needs to do to get herself back on track. This doesn't mean she doesn't care. It means that she cares enough to do what's necessary without wasting time or energy on things that aren't worth it. Her strategy is her strength. She doesn't let her anger or frustration dictate her actions. Instead, she takes control of the situation, making sure that every decision she makes aligns with her goals. When a Sigma female is fed up, she doesn't lash out, she plans. And that makes her far more dangerous than anyone who reacts impulsively. Look, if you're a Sigma female, you've probably already noticed this power in yourself. There's something within you that's different. It's not about being loud, attention-seeking, or even always being in control. It's about knowing when to stay calm, when to observe, and when to act with precision. You've been through situations where everything inside you was screaming to lash out, to do something dramatic, but instead, you stayed composed. That ability to stay composed isn't weakness, it's strength. When you get to that point where you've had enough, it's not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. You're not cracking under pressure or falling apart. You're standing tall, looking at the situation from a place of clarity and realizing that you're done. This moment isn't about losing it emotionally. It's a powerful realization that you've hit your limit and now it's time to take control. Think about it for a second. How many times have you been underestimated because you stayed calm, cool, and collected? People love to test boundaries, especially with someone who doesn't react to every little thing. They think because you're not visibly angry or upset, they can keep pushing, keep crossing lines. But what they don't realize is that you're silently calculating, observing every move, and waiting for the right moment to make your move. You might have stayed quiet, let things slide, but deep down, you knew exactly what was going on. You didn't need to make a scene. You didn't need to raise your voice. You just knew that when you were done, you'd be able to walk away with your head held high, and they'd know they'd messed with the wrong person. And that's what makes you so powerful. When you're done, there's no going back. You're not angry. You're not upset. You're simply making the conscious decision that enough is enough, and you're moving on with your life. This is what separates you from everyone else. Most people react impulsively, letting their emotions dictate their actions. They explode, they cry, they vent, they try to fix things. But you wait. You wait until the exact moment you're ready to move on. And when you do it with a sense of peace and clarity that shocks everyone around you. That's the moment when they realize they shouldn't have messed with you. But here's the thing. If you're watching this and you're feeling like you might need to reset your boundaries, trust me, it's okay. We've all been there. We've all had moments when we've let things slide for too long, when we've allowed others to take advantage of our patience. But here's the truth. It's okay to walk away when things aren't serving you anymore. You're not weak for stepping away from a situation that's no longer healthy. You're not overreacting. You're simply doing what's best for you. It's hard, I get it. Society teaches us to keep pushing through, to stick around and fight for people and things that don't value us. But you've got to remember that your peace and your happiness come first. The moment you realize this, that's when the real transformation happens. You've probably been in situations where you've been emotionally drained, where you've been stuck in toxic dynamics, and you kept going because you didn't want to seem weak or like you were giving up. But I want you to know, walking away is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. You're not failing, you're not quitting, you're simply choosing to preserve your energy and protect your peace. You're being the powerful, self-sufficient woman you were always meant to be. And here's the most important part. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't owe them a dramatic farewell or a drawn-out conversation. When you've made the decision that something is no longer serving you, it's time to move on. And you don't need permission from anyone else to do so. So if this hits home for you, and you've been holding on to situations or people out of a sense of guilt or obligation, it's time to reset your boundaries. You have every right to walk away from things that don't support your growth or contribute to your happiness. And trust me, there's no shame in doing it. In fact, it's empowering. If you've resonated with what I just said, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss the next video where we talk about how to spot when a Sigma female is just about to get fed up and how to avoid becoming the target. We'll dive deeper into the signs that you're pushing someone to their limit and how you can avoid triggering a quiet but powerful storm. This is the kind of knowledge that helps you understand people on a whole new level, especially the quiet ones who seem like they're always in control. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. But before you go, I want to know, what's the moment when you realized a Sigma female's silence was the most dangerous thing about her? Was it a situation where you pushed her too far, or did you see it in someone else? Let's talk about it in the comments. Share your story. I'd love to hear from you. So now I'm curious, do you think a fed-up Sigma female ever gives people a second chance? Or once she's done for good? Drop your thoughts below. I can't wait to hear them. This is something I think we all wonder, especially when you've been in that place where you've cut ties with someone for good. What do you think? Let me know. If you liked this video, you'll love these too. Check them out here. Make sure you keep the conversation going. I'll see you in the next video.